The trade that the Blue Jays just made with the Guardians could mean that Roki Sasaki is a Blue Jay. That's why the trade is so massive. It's not like the Guardians sent Jose Ramirez in exchange for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's nothing like that. But again, Roki could be a Blue Jay because of this move. I'm trying to get this video up ASAP because you guys know my luck is the worst in YouTube history. As soon as I upload a video, 5.7 seconds later, something massive happens. So I'm trying to get ahead of things. We also have updates on Jarren Duran and Kyle Tucker in their arbitration fight against the Red Sox and the Cubs. So we'll talk about that later on. And according to the rumors, the Padres are out on Roki Sasaki, a crazy update. They're already pivoting to a few other international guys. But we'll talk about all of that stuff later. It's time to focus on the Guardians and Jays trade and why it is so big. Also, I forgot to plug myself. Hit that subscribe button. These videos take a lot of work to make. And also, don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. Use code Fuzzy for a free pick on Underdog. All right, back to business. Let's talk about maybe the best working relationship in Cleveland sports history. The Blue Jays have been bailing the Guardians out left and right this offseason. First, it was Anderson Jimenez. They're taking on his $90+ million. And now they're taking on Myles Straw, who is owed about $14-ish million over the next few years. Now, one wrinkle I do want to mention is the Blue Jays will not be paying all of his salary. The Guardians are going to be sending $1 million this year, next year, and then $1.75 million at the end of next year. So they're covering a sizable amount of it. But on paper, technically, the Jays have assumed over $110 million from the Guardians, and because of that, I feel like I gotta go order a Vladimir Guerrero jersey or go to a few games, buy as much food as I can, and just say thank you. Myles Straw is the only player involved in this trade as of right now, but it's not the only thing the Blue Jays got. That other thing is what makes this a huge trade. I'll talk about that in just a second because real quick, I do want to break down Myles Straw. He is a generational defender. Let me repeat that. A generational defender. Even though he's not the tallest guy, his speed combined with his arm makes him one of the better defenders regardless of size. He accumulated 18 outs above average and 23 defensive run saves between 2022 and 2023. And I do want to note that he was actually really, really good in 2021 after the trade was made. If you guys don't remember, the Guardians sent Yainer Diaz and Phil Maton in exchange for Myles Straw. Yainer Diaz has been absolutely insane. We got shredded in this trade, and we've been getting shredded often. But in those first 60 games with Cleveland, Myles Straw hit .285 with 2 home runs, 16 doubles, 13 stolen bases, and a near .365 on base. Since that point, Myles has hit 1 home run in 306 games with a .229 batting average and a 66 OPS plus. He has essentially been the fast version of Austin Hedges. All right, Fuzzy, quit yapping. How in the world is this a massive trade if Myles Straw is one of the worst bats in baseball? What's the big thing that you're just hiding from us? The Guardians not only sent Myles Straw to the Blue Jays, but they also sent $2 million in 2025 international bonus pool money. So the Blue Jays now have $8.3 million to spend versus the Dodgers $5.25 million. Now, yes, I agree. It's not all about the money for Roki Sasaki. If it was, he would have waited the 2 years, turned 25 years old, and gotten a mega contract, $400 million like Yoshinobu Yamamoto did. He could have just waited for a mega contract. Forgot to put on my Blue Jays hat. Here we go. But there's something to be said about Roki getting an extra $3 million and being the ace, not just of the Blue Jays, of an entire country, as opposed to getting $5 million and being a 3, 4, 5 starter with the Dodgers. Roki wants to be elite. If you can be the ace of all of Canada for an extra $3 million, I mean, that's as good as it gets. And here's one more thing I want to remind you guys about. Back in 2015, the Dodgers were involved in a trade with the Blue Jays. The Dodgers acquired a guy, Chase DeYoung and Tim LeCastro. Yes, that Tim LeCastro. The Dodgers acquired DeYoung and LeCastro in exchange for 3 international spots. So the Blue Jays, what did they do immediately? Like on the same day, they got 16-year-old Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So the Blue Jays, if they do get chosen by Roki, they're trying to make sure they have as much money as possible because the Blue Jays kind of had a deal already in place with Vladdy. Once they acquired a lot more money from the Dodgers, they just added that to the original deal that was pretty much in place. And that's why I'm calling this a massive / big trade. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but it's not just Myles Straw. It's $2 million in fun money that they could be giving to Roki Sasaki. And if they choose to spend every single dime of their international money on Roki, that's over $8 million. And another thing to keep in mind as well, the Blue Jays can add even more. They can get up to $10 million in international bonus pool money if they have a few more tricks up their sleeve. If Myles Straw is the reason why Roki Sasaki ends up a Blue Jay, I feel like Blue Jays fans and Guardians fans all have to come together on Roki's debut. Blue Jays fans have to wear Myles Straw jerseys, and Guardians fans will rock out with some Roki Sasaki jerseys. I think that'd be a lot of fun because it could very much happen because of this move. So the Blue Jays and the Dodgers are obviously still in it. What about the Padres? Well, according to all of the rumors from the top reporters, it seems like the Padres are bowing out and they're starting their, almost like how the Yankees had to pivot after losing Juan Soto. The Padres are pivoting to a few other Dominican and foreign prospects. They're trying to get the 17-year-old switch hitter, shortstop, by the way, Yohan De La Cruz. He is the number 21 international prospect. He's known for his quick hands and decent pop. They're also trying to get the 17-year-old lefty pitcher, Carlos Alvarez. He's already mid-90s with the heater at 17 years old, and he's known for commanding not just the fastball, but all of his pitches, and he has a biting slider according to all of the scouting reports. If that rumor is true, we have two teams left in the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes, the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Where do you think he's going to go? The Red Sox came to their senses. They did not disrespect Jarren Duran because they were fighting over $500,000 in arbitration. The Red Sox filed at $3.5 million. Jarren Duran, after his monster superstar season, filed at $4 million. They came to an agreement, not really in the middle. It's more on Jarren's side, $3.85 million, but it can get up to Jarren's $4 million with incentives. There's also another little update and a wrinkle that there's a option for 2026. I think it's like $8 million with the buyout. I don't know exactly how that side of it works, but essentially if Jarren performs like we all think he is going to, he's going to get that $4 million he asked for. Same with the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Tucker, although I don't know if there are incentives in this contract. We know that the Cubs filed at $15 million, 15.5, something like that, whereas Kyle Tucker, he wanted $17.5 million. Well, they basically met in the middle at $16.5 million. And honestly, that's a bargain considering how good Kyle Tucker is. He's a top 10 player when healthy. He's getting $16.5 million in arbitration, whereas Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just got the third richest arbitration contract ever at almost $30 million. I mean, I love Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but the fact that he's getting almost $13 million more in arbitration, I don't really understand that, aside from the fact that he does stay healthier more often than Kyle Tucker. Maybe that's a big factor in why the Cubs said, yeah, you're not worth that much money. No signing is too small for this channel. We have a comeback story on our hands. No one knows who Elvin Rodríguez is, but he just got a big league contract from the Brewers. So the last time that we saw Elvin, it looked like the Rays kind of fixed them. He struck out 5 hitters in 3 innings back in 2023. That was actually his lone appearance that season. He goes to Japan in 2024 and puts up a 1.7 ERA in 90-ish innings. The Brewers, I kind of refer to them as the NL version of the Guardians. They are an absolute pitching factory. They build starting pitching. They build bullpen guys. They can lose Josh Hader and replace him with Devin Williams. They can trade away Devin Williams and replace him with a Trevor McGill or maybe an Elvin Rodríguez. This could be a very sneaky pickup. I'm not saying that Elvin is going to be the closer going forward, but he could be a high leverage guy like a Kate Smith. He's not going to be Emmanuel Clase, but a very prominent setup guy. And there you have it. Today's recap was a blast because as a Guardians fan, I know that my team penny pinches in the fact that they just shed $100+ million to the Blue Jays. Christmas came early, and who knows, maybe this means that Roki Sasaki is going to be a Blue Jay.